Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio.
What's happening, everyone? This is the pregame. You know the drill, 10 minutes of fun. If you're interested, you pop on over and listen to the full episode. Erin Andrews, Charissa Thompson, this is the Calm Down pregame. And hi.
I just thought the camera caught me. I was looking down at Howie winking. You know what's so funny, and we didn't expect this to be part of the pregame, is like I feel like my great guy. My messed that up, gave me anxiety, that report this year, Packers-Ravens. Thanks, Charissa, so much for bringing that back into my train of thought. But back to Howie and me just winking at him. It's like I literally thought that he could understand what it was all about, me winking at him. Dogs don't know, but I feel like my dog does know, you know?
I think dogs definitely know what's going on.
He doesn't know a wink, though, does he?
Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? If he knows, hey, do you want to go for a walk? Hey, do you want a treat? Do you want to, why wouldn't he know a wink? I think dogs, well, you and I have an affinity for dog. We're very much dog people. Dogs are, if I was to be reincarnated, that's why I have a tattoo, because I believe in reincarnation. That's a different podcast. But I think that if I get a choice as what I want to come back as in my next life, I would for sure be a dog. They understand everything, and that's why they're man's best friend. It's why they're service dogs. They don't have service cats. And don't try to tell that peacock. Did I send you that Instagram? I sent it to the Calm Down DM. A woman brought a peacock on a plane and said it was a service animal.
That tail was so long in the aisle. One time we tried to take Howie commercial and his tail was so long in the aisle, and it made me think of that peacock that you sent. It's too hard bringing dogs this size. I drank the whole time. Poor Jarrett had to deal with not only Howie off the plane, but Mommy off the plane. It was a disaster.
You definitely had to buy him a seat. That dog is too big to fit in between you guys.
No, he went in bulkhead in first class. It just didn't work. And I freaked out. I panicked, and never again. We're never doing it again. Ever, ever, ever.
No, we're not doing that. So look, I get it. We all need things. And if you need an emotional support animal, that's fine. But the peacock's tough on a plane. Not a lot of room. Anyways, I want to come back as a dog. Howie understands the winks. And you guys understood the assignment. Sending in questions that you have for us. So we always
I want to come in as an all-pro linebacker. That's what I want to come back as. You know?
What?
And not just a 1-year all-pro linebacker. I'd like to be repeating like an Aaron Donald. Yeah. I know he's not a linebacker, but he's always every single year having success. So I would like that to be me, linebacker.
Oh my God. Ray Lewis. Okay. That's interesting. I would be an offensive player. I wouldn't have pinned you for a defensive gal. I'm going to be honest.
Defense wins games.
Championships too. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? Okay, so this is actually a perfect segue. I'm going to mess up the names, and so I apologize in advance. Meso Ernie wrote in, how did you fall in love with football, Erin?
For my dad. Just my dad is a great storyteller, and he did it for a living for a ton of years, being an investigative reporter. And when I started falling in love with sports is when he started telling me the stories behind players, coaches, organizations, and introduced me to the Red Sox, the Boston Celtics, and the Green Bay Packers. So yeah, what about you?
Same. Scott Thompson. He would always be watching Sports Center. He would always be watching any kind of sports. But I remember specifically the reason I say Sports Center is because Berman was on, and it was the day of Dan Patrick and all those guys, Rich Eisen. And I remember wanting to spend time with my dad, no matter what he was doing. I just idolized him. And so he's like, well, you can sit down next to me, but you're not allowed to talk. He's like, and I will ask you questions and teach you things, but do not just be jabbing away. I'm watching the games. I'm watching things happening. And then he would teach me the games that way. So yeah, definitely from him. And then he used to play in a flag football league. So I would go to his games with him. And then I got really excited because anyone that's been to Seattle knows Dick's Drive-In. It's an old school,
I don't know Dick's Drive-In.
Oh my God. It is a staple in the Seattle area. So imagine going back in 1950 and having a root beer float be $1.25. The prices stayed the same. There was no cash registers. The employees would just do the math themselves in their head. It was an awesome place to go. And again, my Seattle brethren will know exactly what we're talking about. So I would go with him to his flag football game. I'd bring my little briefcase because I like to do business. And he's like, okay, sit here in the stands. And I like have all this paperwork out, doing fake nothing. And then he would take me to get a root beer float and a hamburger afterwards. And I loved it.
So I was, instead of doing business with a briefcase, I played a game when I was younger with my mom when she would like fold laundry, and I called myself Sue the waitress. Cute. And I would always call my mom Paula because that's her name. And I'd be like, we would role play this whole thing, Sue the waitress. I had 3 kids. One was named Cigarette. Oh, and Sue the waitress smoked Crayolas.
Cute.
Cigarette, Tractor, and Blanket. Who knew Michael Jackson would name his kid that way? Someone's calling me. Jared, I'm busy. Yeah, that was
That's
me.
what
You're doing business
were?
Deals. Yeah, you're doing business deals, and I'm doing, I'm Sue the waitress smoking Crayolas.
So smoking heaters and having 3 kids, one named Tractor. That's an unbelievable story. We'll expand more
Tractor,
on that.
Cigarette, and Blanket.
In the full episode of the Calm Down podcast, because there were so many games. I'm writing this down. You're writing it down? Write it down. Reach,
write it down.
I played a lot of other games too, and it was, yeah. So, but my favorite was business with my briefcase. My grandpa gave me his briefcase. He worked at Boeing, and it had like the little things like, on suitcases that you could put the code in and to like lock it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the code, and the code was 123, and I was like, no one will ever get into this briefcase. I have a code on it. That leads us to our next question. Again, you guys, where are we at, Ryan? I'm not paying attention to the time.
We're about 8 minutes in.
Oh, perfect.
Or 7.
Next question is favorite interview of a player and most embarrassing interview. Shit, I got to think about these.
One of my favorite interviews, I'm kind of looking up at him, was Big Papi after the Red Sox won the World Series. I forgot which year it was. It was after the Boston bombing, and Papi had done that whole, this is our fucking city. And so I gave him the mic, and yeah, I'm looking, oh God.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And he just did that whole thing again. It was really cool. Do you have a favorite?
One that stands out. I'm trying to think. And you've had a lot more in the moment interviews, like post game and reaction. I mean, those, because I didn't spend as much time on the sidelines as you did. So my interviews were more in the sit down vein. But I love a lot of the interviews that I get to do for NFL Films because it's telling the story of the individuals. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, on the spot, I don't know. I'd have to think about it further. I've had a lot of good ones. Embarrassing interviews? I don't really have one that jumps out as far as embarrassing.
I don't either.
I know. Sorry. That's like a lame. I'll think about it. Peachy _
I interviewed
ATL.
Carson Palmer's dad in the stands when I did football for TBS back in the day. And this is when Carson was playing at USC. And I was trying so hard to ask him questions. And I don't think he was into it. And it was just really challenging. And I was young and I didn't know how to navigate through it. So yeah, there was that one.
Maybe this actually Gary Bettman now comes to mind because he was like, I know you don't know anything about hockey, but thanks for the questions. That's when I bought Hockey for Dummies. Okay, last question. And then we will continue these thoughts over on the full episode of Calm Down Podcast. But Jacqueline _9 with a fantastic question. How many days of dry shampoo is too many? Calm down, greasy hair.
Go ahead.
I don't
really. Go.
I have a thing. I have a shower affinity. I shower I've already showered twice today. I have to shower right when I wake up, and then I shower after a workout, and then I shower before I go to bed. So sometimes it could be up to 3 times a day, which I'm into. And I can't do the greasy hair thing. Also because it's blonde and I feel like you see it right away. So the most I would
Do you wash your hair every time?
Yeah, that's also why it's falling out and it's super dry.
You're not supposed to.
I know. I'm working on most days I've ever gone without washing my hair is 2 max. Max a million. That's it.
I'm not really a dry shampoo girl anyways, because I work out pretty much every day and I just feel like everything gets so greasy. So yeah, I can go to like 3 to 4 days without washing my hair, but then it turns into a real situation. I could give your car an oil change with my head.
Right.
So I'm more of a texture spray kind of gal. And then back in the day when my whole head was covered in a weave, I just used to do the front track wash if I was real like
a top wash.
Greasy. Sure. But I just can't find a dry shampoo that really agrees with me. I feel like I get kind of like the little specks in my hair and it looks like dandruff and I'm not into it.
No? Okay. Dry Bar has a good shampoo or a good dry shampoo. And the texture spray, not an ad, Unite. When I'm back into the short hair space, Unite texture spray, ladies and gentlemen too. It's not just for the ladies. I highly recommend that, as does Erin. For more tips on your hair.
Can we see if they want to advertise on Calm Down? Because I know that we are both big users and believers in Unite.
And let's all unite on the full episode of Calm Down Podcast now. Bye.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio.
For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.